Sup? It's good, everybody. My day takers. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today because today is the day of the UFC 312. And I was going to possibly start with another walk and talk and then come in and do this, but I really got to keep them short so it's easier for me to download or whatnot. I'm sure I can change that in the future. But I'm super passionate about this stuff. And today's a big one. It's in Australia, down under. Or some of my criminal relatives I'm sure I share genetics with. I mean, look at me. Good eye. It's kind of a lot though. It's a huge card. So I'm not going to go like early prelims, main card. I'm pretty much just going to do the main card. However, I got to get a little close here so I can scroll around on my laptop. There is a solid honorable mention on the prelims, which if you got ESPN Plus, I think you can watch all this free. And then YouTube be putting these up. Sometimes people just post them, even sometimes during the pay-per-view, and they get taken down. But that's sometimes how I have to watch it because I get scared about the pirate sites and the VPN, just whatever, man. You know what I mean? So I just kind of wait. I'm kind of superstitious about watching the fights live anyway. I don't bet on them, but I get super immersed real deep in it. So sometimes I feel like I jinx the dude if I watch him. I know, that's weird. But whatever. Welcome once again, fourth video, and we're going to switch it up. I probably should have said all this earlier. Whatever, we'll get there. And we're going to do a UFC pre-watch prediction, and then maybe even tonight I'll come back and be like, oh, look at that. I got this one right. I got whatever. It just depends on if I can actually see them with time enough, or maybe we can go over tomorrow. But tomorrow I am going to do another walk and talk, probably afuera, outside, and maybe we can go over it then. I don't know, whatever. But what up, day takers? Hope your weekend's killing in a good way. All right, so let me talk about this honorable mention on the prelims card. It's got a super awesome backstory, and it's kind of like it's like a movie, like I don't know, an old 80s or 90s martial arts movie. Like the teacher gets beaten, the student takes over, kinda. It's a little bit deeper than that. I think this is the last fight on the prelims, and the dude's name, I'm not kidding, if you don't know anything about mixed martial arts, and I'm sorry if you hate that stuff or whatever, but I'm going to have to throw one of these on here occasionally, anytime there is one, and maybe I should do a separate channel later, whatever. But this dude's name, he's from Australia. This card has got tons of Australians on it because they're in Australia. It's great for live ticket sales. His name's Colby Thickness. It looks like Thicknessy. What's up, Thicknessy? But it's Thickness, and he is fighting Alexandre Tuporia. He has a brother who is the champ right now, and these dudes, you know, it says they're from Georgia, but I think they live in Spain now. These fools have hands, like top tier boxing. And I know this in the UFC, it's the upper echelon of mixed martial arts, but the hand skills are absolutely outstanding. Hold on a second, I just want to make sure this is recording. Yeah, we go. The crazy thing about this is I have a lot of favorite fighters. I have a favorite fighter every weight class. Sometimes it moves around. Sometimes, I really love it. But Alexander Volkanovski, Australian dude, one of the best fighters ever. I love fighters for multiple reasons. I love Alex because he's a great fighter, really is. But I like who he is as a person. Good people. Well, he got beat and lost the belt to this guy's Tuporia's brother, the champ. That's how he got the belt. He got it from Alex. The thing that draws us into the storyline of like an old school martial arts movie is Colby is Thickness. He has been training with Alexander Volkanovski. I'm just going to refer to him as Volk. Since like I want to say childhood, like since he was young, like maybe teenager ish. Um, and he is tonight basically gonna kind of have a redemption fight with, I think it's the younger brother, could be the older brother, I don't know, of the Toporias. So this is kind of a revenge match. Here is my student that I've been rolling with, training with for a decade, and he is gonna beat the brother of the dude that beat me. We don't have a lot of like video. I've tried to research this guy, and I've seen a little bit of training stuff. He is good. I don't know if he's as good as his bro, his big bro. Assuming it's his big bro, but this is going to be one to watch. This one I'm excited to watch because I'm going to get to watch it live. And I feel as though it says on the UFC website that he is a plus 275 and then a negative 345 for the Tapuria guy. I was just listening to Volk do his predictions for this fight, and that's where I got some of the detail on how long they've been training together. Man, I don't know. If I was gonna, this is not gambling advice, and you shouldn't gamble. But if you're gonna do something like that, and you got some spare money, it's not gonna change your life to lose. I feel like you should bet the underdog on this one. Go with the thickness if you need your wallet with some thickness. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, let's just move on to the main card because once again, I don't want to make these super, super long. And it looks as if I feel like there's a lot of energy in Australia, and the crowd. The Australians are unique UFC fans. They are some of probably the top passionate. They all identify with the struggle. I love them. So the reason I say that is because they're going to be giving that energy to their hometown boys and possibly girls. I don't know if there's a female, maybe on the early prelims from Australia. All right, the first one is Francisco Prado versus Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews is the Australian. Other dude's the Argentinian dude. He looks like a male model or something. Once again, well, you know what? He's a negative 245, the Australian Matthews. I feel like because he's one of those guys, if you'll notice, he in his last outing, if you're a fan and watch this at all, he has the ability to do this. It just depends on which one shows up. I mean, you can say that about any guy, but this guy especially. All right, and then we're going to move on. Ooh. This is not the hardest card to pronounce names, but there are some. I'm probably going to mess this up, especially on the Brazilian dude. I apologize. So the Australian Jimmy Crute is going to be fighting Rodolfo Bellator. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But he is, I would say, more than likely, Australia's going to take this one. This is kind of a roll of the dice, just because I don't know a lot about this Brazilian dude, but I have been watching this Crute guy, if I'm saying that right, Jimmy. He's a banger, and he's coming in hungry, so I'm going by that just because that's what I kind of know. All right, the next one, it's the big boys, and I'm talking about big boys. Justin Tafa, New Zealand, real close to Australia, so they're going to be supporting more than likely. And then it's Teixeira Talisson, I think is how you say the Brazilian guy's name. The underdog is actually Tafa, and it's because he hasn't been successful in his last few outings. But let me tell you about this guy. If you know who Mark Hunt is, and he's an old school Pride, UFC, K1, I'm talking about knock you out or I'm going to get knocked out. Justin Tafa is like a similar version of that. I don't think he has the skill level as Mark Hunt because Mark Hunt would weigh like almost 300 pounds. And I'm pretty sure he can do the full splits. But yeah, he would blitz with big, heavy shots, pretty good head movement, whatnot. But he'll take a few to give the one that finishes you. But he can head kick you standing right in front of you. Like, it's amazing. For a big man to be that good, I think I was too close to the camera the whole time. Whatever. So I'm going to say, because Justin Tafa is real close to home. Once again, he's the underdog. He's the plus 130. Let me just. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tafa for sure on that one. That guy's, I don't know. I just feel like it's definitely going to be a knockout or like referee stoppage TKO. But, fight's a fight. All right, the next one is the women's strawweight title bout. Tatiana Suarez, she's a United States wrestler. She's been wrestling since like day one, and she is, watch your mouth. She's going to be taken down. She's fighting Weili Zhang Weili. That's weird. They have it. That's a thing. Weili has the belt, and she is a real problem for anyone in this weight class. She is. They say she's 5'4". I think she's smaller than that, but dude, she is a banger. Let me see if I can click on her and see what her status is. 11 wins by knockout, 8 wins by submission, 11 first round finishes. I'm telling you, dude, she is amazing. She is a banger. Here's the thing, though. Tatiana Suarez, a lot of people think because she's the number one challenger to the belt, she's ranked number one in the weight class, and it's because of her past performances. She will wrestle you to death. Just when you think, oh, we're going to stand up for a little bit, here's a fake punch and then takedown. Weili's got skills everywhere. She's more of a complete martial artist. If she can stop that takedown or meet Tatiana before the takedown is actually complete with a strike or a knee or something, this fight can be over real quick. But I will say this, Tatiana has this issue with her neck. She's got like a reoccurring neck injury. It's what kind of took her out. And I think it has something to do with her holds, like her submission holds. She does a lot of like arm in guillotine, anaconda chokes, arm chokes, all that kind of good stuff. And a lot of that, you're squeezing up against yourself. And she's got an amazing squeeze. She's an amazing wrestler. And so that's one of their superpowers, is their ability to just suck the life out of you with a good squeeze. But I still think this fight might go to decision because both these girls are solid grinders. There's a real close. Weili is a plus 114. And these odds change all the time. This is just what the UFC has up here right now. And Tatiana's the negative 135. Going to be a good fight. I'm excited to see it. I feel like they're going to be bloody and it'll be good. Super entertaining. And then we got the big dog. The fight of the middleweight title belt. 185 pounds. These dudes. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. They've both been doing it for a while. Man. I'm looking at the striking accuracy right now. I really, like, if I'm just going to cut right to it, I feel like du Plessis and Sean, they're kind of similar in their fighting styles. It's not real technical. I mean, kind of, stand behind your jab, Strickland. But Dricus, there's just no rhyme or reason. I like to say I'm a little bit of a psychic when it comes to certain fights, just because I put so much research into this one. Dricus, for a long time, the beginning of his career, had an issue with his nose. I think it was a septum. So, like, by round 2, when he would first start, it looked like he was gassed, like, because he had to mouth breathe during the fight, and that's not the most productive way to breathe during a fight. Well, he got that fixed. This is the second time that Sean has fought Dricus, and Dricus won. It was a decision on the first one. And he performed way better because his cardio is better since everything's been fixed. And he didn't really receive any damage to the nose. I feel like I've seen a flash of the future, and Dricus might get his nose broke by Mr. Sean Strickland. Round 2, round 3, somewhere in there. And he's going to have, like, trauma flashbacks, Dricus, and start sucking air through his mouth again. Who knows, that might turn the tide of the fight. Dricus is probably going to win. Another thing, Sean has in staff right now. I don't know how the commission allows them to fight it. Maybe because if they're on a certain battery of antibiotics, then they let you go. Maybe they can test where you're at in the infection. But man, just fighting a dude, just wrestling, just practicing with the dude with staff. I've had staff. Man, it's horrible. It sucks so bad. And then you get on the medication. It sucks all the energy out of you. Nobody wants to train with you. You got to wash your gi. You got to make sure tea tree. Man, I've had ringworm. It's ridiculous from rolling with dudes that didn't clean properly. It's hard to do. It's hard to stay super clean though, especially if you're on mats that are getting worked all day and they're not cleaning them in between sessions. They usually clean them late at night. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna run these down real good one more time. Drickus, he gonna win. Wei Lee, she gonna win. Tafa, winning. I'm gonna go with the Australians, Jimmy and Jake, and then that's crazy. That was on the left side of the screen. And then we got the honorable mention in the early prelims. Colby Thickness versus Topuria. I think Colby's going to do it. Topuria definitely can get it done, though. I just feel like it's going to be an Australian tsunami coming through and raising up all their folks. All right. That being said about all of this, I'm gonna give a little theory / what I believe about fighting and all this kind of good stuff. Kind of give this a little exclamation point. There is no guarantee in a fight, except for there's no guarantee. That's something I learned very, very soon when I started training back in the day. Anything can happen. Someone can walk onto a punch that they didn't see. I mean, all that kind of stuff. Just, that is a rule that will continue through time. Nothing's guaranteed except for there's no guarantees. Anybody can get knocked out. And the same day I learned that, I learned never underestimate your opponent, no matter what they look like, what they sound like, what you think they're about. Man, skinny scrappy, you catch it. Anybody can catch it. I just like to represent skinny scrappy because that's kind of my thing. Okay, so now that's going down tonight. I'm super stoked. I might come back to you and tell you, hey, look how correct or incorrect I was. Whatever. And then tomorrow I'll do more of my normal stuff of the walking and talking and telling stories. I'll kind of finish up the story on the place that I quit recently. And then we'll go into some more backstory of, my travels through food and beverage and life and all that good stuff. And then tomorrow is the Super Bowl. Man, I'm kind of nervous because I found out yesterday our sitting president, Donald Trump, is going to be at the Super Bowl. And that's the first time that's ever happened. And, if you've seen any of the other videos or if you're into a conspiracy theory at all, the Super Bowl this year is a thing. Like, there's all kinds of cryptic messages about it before it. The halftime show, man, sus and scary. All right. So, like I said, every day, put one of these up. Dictating my day. I hope you're dictating your day. Hope your weekend's rad. Hope all is, unfolding good in your life. And remember, if it's harsh, if things are bad, if you feel like you're buried by the day, hey man, you are not alone. Hey man, hey woman, you are not alone. Like, no guarantees in life except there's no guarantees. The ebb and flow, the light, the dark, as above, so below. Ooh, that is a bar. That rhymed. I didn't mean to do it. Yeah, man, just know that we're all going through this thing. It's just life. And then it's whatever it is when it's over. But hey, if you need to tune into something, take your mind off of something, I'm going to try to provide that for you. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. Whatever. But I'm attempting. Just know, the power is yours. Dictate your day. And with that, day takers. Oh, before I go, I don't know how to do a thumbnail. YouTube is choosing all these. I thought maybe if I did something, I don't know, out of pocket or something on camera, that would be what they capture. If I was smiling, putting a flex up, that would be a cool thumbnail. I don't know how you choose those though. But yeah, all right. Maybe if somebody knows, put that in the comments. I'm sure I could watch a video, but I'd rather interact with people who want to interact with me. So if you want to drop some knowledge on me, please feel free to do so. Day takers, remember, dictate your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later.